polynomials that can be factored using the difference of two squares. Yan ang pag-uusapan natin ngayong araw. Manood, makinig, mag-enjoy at matuto. Alright, hi everyone! Welcome sa lesson natin for today. So ngayon, pag-uusapan natin ang pangalawang factoring method na gagamitin natin. So that is the difference of two squares. Ayan. So let's start this by giving you the pattern na susundin natin to solve difference of two squares. So ang pattern nito ay ganito. A squared minus b squared is equal to the quantity of a plus b multiplied by the quantity of a minus b. And, just like common monomial factoring, meron din itong conditions na dapat mo munang tignan para masabing factorable siya using difference of two squares. And what are those? Unang-una, lahat ng conditions actually nasa pangalan niya na, difference of two squares. It has two terms. So, nasa pangalan, 2, ibig sabihin, binomial. So, two terms. Ito yung given. Ito yung nasa unahan. Dapat binomial. May first term saka may second term. Kapag tatlo na yan, hindi na yan pwede ng difference of two squares. So, take note yung mga conditions. Next, the operation must be subtraction. So, nasa pangalan ulit, difference. Difference. Ibig sabihin, subtraction dapat yung given. So, minus dapat ito. Ganon. Then last, perfect squares dapat yung given na first term and second term. So, you'll know later kung anong ibig sabihin ng perfect squares dito. And paano malalaman kung ang variable ay perfect square or hindi. And we're just going to follow this pattern. Ang ginagawa lang dito para ma-solve itong nandito sa kanan, get the square root of first and second term. Ayan. Kaya nakuha si A saka si B. Tapos ipag-plus and ipag-minus. Ganun lang kasimple ang difference of two squares. Ngayon, let's have examples para maintindihan nyo kung paano ito gagawin. But before that, let me first show you kung ano nga ba yung perfect square na sinasabi ko. So, ang perfect squares na number, eto yon. So, better na sa ulo mo yung first 1 to 20. So, dito 1 to 10 lang ang inilagay ko. Etong 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64, 81, 100, ang tawag niyan ay perfect squares. Bakit siya tinatawag na perfect squares? Kapag sinabi pong perfect squares, makakaisip ka ng isang integer na kapag minultiply sa sarili, ang sagot ay yung 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, and so on. So, just like this one. Bakit perfect square si 1? Kasi ang 1 times 1 ay 1. Bakit perfect square ang 49? Kasi yung 7 times 7, 49. So, mag-iisip ka ng number na kailangan kapag minultiply sa sarili, 49 ang sagot. Ganon din sa 100. Anong number ang kapag minultiply sa sarili? 100 ang sagot. And that is 10 times 10. So, ganun pagkuha ng perfect squares na kapag number yung given sa atin. Yan. So, let's have our example. Number 1. X squared minus y squared. So, the first thing you have to do is to check muna kung factorable ba to using the difference of two squares. So, we have three conditions. Una, ask yourself, dalawang terms ba to? First term, second term. So, check. So, tama yon. Second condition, minus ba ang operation? Minus naman. So, check pa rin. Third, perfect squares dapat ang first term saka ang last term. Ngayon, ang challenge dito sa atin, paano natin malalaman if the variable given is a perfect square? How do we know that? Ganito lang po kasimple. Tingnan mo lang sa exponent. Dapat yung exponent na meron ka ay even number. What do I mean by that? Dapat ang makikita mo sa taas ay 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, so on and so forth. Basta, even numbers. Lahat ng even numbers na variable na nakarelate sa even numbers, lahat yun ay perfect squares. Ganun lang po kasimple. Now, since nasatisfy natin yung tatlo, dalawang terms, minus ba yan? Perfect squares ba ang first and second term? Then, we can proceed to our factoring method. But before that, meron pa rin tayong consider. Diba? Sabi ko sa common monomial factoring, you have to first check kung pwede siya ng common monomial factoring bago ka mag-proceed sa difference of two squares. So in this case, may common ba x saka y? Wala naman. So safe tayo. So diretso ka ngayon kay difference of two squares. You have to always check kung factorable siya ng common monomial factoring because that is the only way para malaman mo na ang factored form natin ay completely factor na. So, let's proceed. Paano yung magiging step natin dito? Very simple. Ang step number 1, isang step lang ang gagawin natin dito. Just get the square root. Ayan. Square root. Kabalitan na ito ng pagkuha ng square ng number. Ayan. So, square root of the variable ng first term natin, tapos ng second term. Ayan. So, i-square root mo lang si x squared saka si y squared. Now, how do we solve yung square root ng variable na naka-raise sa even number? Ganito lang. Etong 2 na to, just divide that by 2. Ganun lang. Kung ano yung exponent, hahatiin mo lang or i-divide mo lang sa 2. So, this will be 2 divided by 2, magiging 1. That's x raised to 1 or just x. Let's do it here. So, ang 2, y squared, square root of y squared, i-divide mo lang to sa 2. So, 2 divided by 2, that is 1. So, that's y raised to 1 or just y. Ayan. So, ganun lang. I-divide mo lang sa 2 yung exponent. So, we have now yung square root, which is yung x, tapos yung y. Now, anong gagawin natin dito? So, very simple lang. Ang gagawin mo dito sa x and y, ipagpa-plus, tapos ipagma-minus. Ito. So, sa unang parenthesis, naka-plus yung dalawa, x plus y. Then, sa pangalawa, ito ulit, x minus y naman. Very simple. Ganun lang po kasimple ang difference of two squares. After mong makuha si square root, i-plus yung x plus y, tapos i-minus naman yung x minus y. Then, ganito yung magiging form ng sagot natin. And this will now be the final answer. Ayan. So, let's have another example. 25x raised to 4 minus 4y raised to 6. Now, we have to check first our 3 conditions bago ka mag-proceed sa difference of two squares. Unang-una, ask yourself, dalawang terms ba to? First term, second term. So, check ang first condition. Second condition, minus ba ang operation? Yes. So, check din. Third condition, perfect square ba ang numbers sa ang variables na present? Perfect squares ba yung first term and second term? How do we know that? Yung 25 ba, makakaisip ako ng number na kapag minultiply sa sarili, 25 ang sagot. Meron. That's 5 times 5. So, therefore, perfect square is 25. Now, sa x raised to 4, since variable to na naka-raise sa isang number, para malaman mo kung perfect square yan, ask yourself, even number ba ang exponent? And in this case, 4 is even number, so check tayo doon. Ibig sabihin, first term ay okay na. Second term naman, 4. Perfect square ba ang 4? Yes. Kasi ang 2 times 2 is 4. Ang y raised to 6, perfect square kaya? Of course, perfect square din. Kasi nga, yung 6 ay even number. So, ganun po ang pag-check kung check using our conditions ng difference of two squares. Then, bago ka mag-proceed ulit din sa step-by-step procedure natin, let's check muna kung factorable na ng common monomial factoring. 25 and 4, wala naman siyang GCF, except sa 1. X raised to 4 sa y raised to 6, walang common. So, wala ditong GCF, or walang common monomial factoring na mangyayari. So, kapag ganun, proceed ka na ngayon sa step number 1. Very simple. Square root lang. Get the square root of the first term and the last term. This is the square root of 25x raised to 4, which is our first term, and square root of 4y raised to 6, which is our second term. Now, for square root of 25, ano ba yung number na kapag multiply sa 25, ay sa sarili, 25 ang sagot. So, that's 5. So, ibig sabihin ng square root nito ay 5. Paano naman nakuha ang x squared? Di ba kapag variable, i-divide mo lang sa 2 ang exponent. So, 4 divided by 2, that's 2. Kaya x squared na ang magiging sagot dito. Ganun po yan. Next, let's have this one. Square root of 4 y raised to 6. So, sa square root ng 4, ano ba yung number na kapag minultiply sa sarili, 4 ang sagot? 2. So that is now the square root of 4. Yung 2 na yon. Next, yung y raised to 6 naman, i-divide lang natin sa 2 ang 6. And 6 divided by 2, that's 3. So y cubed na to dapat. So the answer here will be 2y cubed. And kapag meron ka ng ganito, nakuha mo na yung square root ng first term and second term, very simple ang last step natin. Ipag-plus, ipag-minus. Ang plus sa first parenthesis, ang minus, ilagay mo naman sa second parenthesis. Be careful, kopyahin mo lang to. 5x squared plus 2y cubed, then 5x squared minus 2y cubed. Kung magkabaliktad man ito, that's fine. Okay lang yon. Kung nauna mo si minus, tapos pangalawa si plus, okay lang yon. Ang hindi lang pwede, parehong plus o kaya parehong minus. Ayan. Let's have another example. 4x squared minus 16y raised to 10. So, first thing you have to do, check up muna natin kung pasok siya sa conditions ng difference of two squares. Una, ask yourself, dalawang terms ba? Yes. First term, second term. Second, minus ba? Yes. So, check ang second. Third, perfect square ba ang first term saka ang last term? Yes. Paano? Ang 4, ang square, that is 2 times 2. Kaya okay yan. Ang x squared, ang exponent ay even number. So, tama ang first term. Next, ito naman. 16. Ang 16 kasi ay 4 times 4. So, perfect square yan. Tapos, ang exponent naman ni y ay 10, which is even number. So, pasok yan sa ating difference of two squares. But, before you do the step-by-step process dito, to completely factor this one, kailangan mo munang tanungin ang sarili mo din if this is factorable using the common monomial factoring. So, check natin. Ang 4 ba saka ang 16 may GCF? Meron. Diba? Ang 4 saka ang 16, 4 ang GCF niyan. Pero yung variable na x and y, wala namang common sa kanila. Wala namang x pareho and wala namang y pareho. So, since factorable to ng common monomial factoring, mag-common monomial factoring ka muna bago tayo mag-difference of two squares. So, how do we do that? Ganito. So, common monomial factoring, so yung 4 dapat nasa labas. Ayan. 4 dito. And, iisa-isahin natin term by term. So, 4 divided by 4, that's 1. Ang gagawin sa x squared, kopyahin mo lang. So, that's 1x squared. Hindi ko na nilagay yung 1 kasi automatic naman yun na may 1 sa gilid. Minus 16 divided by 4, that is 4. So, kaya ito yon. Then, ang y raised to 10, kokopyahin mo lang. So, ito na ngayon ang panibagong polynomial natin. Now, etong nasa loob, factorable pa rin using the difference of two squares. Check natin. 2 terms. Minus. Perfect square pa to kasi naka-raise sa even number. Perfect square pa rin yung 4 kasi ang 2 times 2 is 4. Then even number pa rin ang exponent ng y kaya perfect square pa rin. So, kapag may factor ka pa, huwag kang titigil hanggang meron pang factorable. Ganun siya. So, factor natin to using the difference of two squares. Ayan. So, step number 1, ganun din ulit. Pero yung 4, nasa labas na lang yan. Kakopyahan mo na lang yan sa final answer later. So, square root ulit. Square root ng first term dito sa loob and second term ng nasa loob din. So, x squared, since variable lang to, divide mo lang sa 2 ang exponent. So, that's raised to 1. Kaya x raised to 1 na siya. Kasi 2 divided by 2 is 1. Next, square root of 4y raised to 10. So, ang 4, ang square root niyan ay 2. Kasi ang 2 times 2 ay 4. Tapos, yung y raised to 10, yung 10 divide mo lang sa 2, kaya nakuha yung 5 dito. Ayan. So, after that, etong x saka 2y raised to 5, ipagpa-plus at ipagma-minus. Ganito magiging form niya. Pero si 4, wag mong kakalimutan. Kasi part na yan ng problem natin ngayon. 4 nasa labas. Tapos ito, pahabain lang natin. So, magkakaroon siya ngayon ng x plus 2y raised to 5. Yung una dito. At yung pangalawang parenthesis, naka-minus naman. X minus 2y raised to 5. And this is now the answer for that. Ito yung completely factored form. ng 4x squared minus 16y raised to 10. Kaya very important. Sabi ko, take note always if the given number or the given expression is factorable by common monomial factoring. Kasi kapag diniretso mo yan, mamamali yung sagot mo sa exam kung meron man. O kaya sa seat work. Because hindi pa completely factor yung polynomial na meron ka. So, ganun po. Ayan. So, I guess, nakuha mo na kung paano ito gagawin. And, kung ready ka na, let's go to our humor drill right now. Okay, for our humor drill, I'll give you 2 items to answer. I'll pause for a while and I'll get back to you to give the answers. But if you still need time, feel free to pause the video. Your timer starts now. Alright, time's up. So let's answer now. Number 1. 36x raised to 6 minus 49y raised to 8. Ayan. So again, conditions muna. Una, 2 terms ba? Yes, 2 terms yan. Pangalawa, subtraction ba? So check. Pangatlo, perfect square ba ang first term sa ang last term? So check natin yung numbers muna. 36, makakaisip ka ba ng number na kapag multiply sa sarili, 36 ang sagot? Yes, 6 times 6. Ang 49, meron, 7 times 7. Next, for variables. Check mo ang exponent, even ba? Yes. Dito ba, even ba? Yes. So therefore, pasok ito sa difference of 2 squares. Bago ka mag-proceed sa step number 1, tanong sa sarili, factorable ba by common monomial factoring? So sa variable, wala, kasi walang the same na variable. For numbers, may GCF ba ang 36 hanggang 49? Wala naman, so okay na yon. So, proceed na tayo ngayon sa step number 1. Since hindi na naman to factorable using the common monomial factoring. So, step number 1, get the square root of the first term and the last term. So, ganun lang ulit. So, since ang 36 is 6 times 6, so ang square root niyan ay 6 na lang. And for x, x cubed. Paano nakuha ang raised to 3? Dinivide ko lang sa 2 ang 6. Dito naman. Since ang 49 is 7 times 7, so ang square root ng 49 ngayon ay 7. Tapos, ang y raised to 8 magiging y raised to 4 na lang. Kasi i-divide mo lang sa 2 yung 8 dito. So, we have now 6x cubed and 7y raised to 4. Very simple sa final answer, dalawang parentheses, ang una naka-plus, ang pangalawa naka-minus. Or kung gusto mong unahin ang minus followed by plus, that's fine. Hindi lang pwede ang parehong plus, parehong minus. Take note of that. So, ipag-plus lang natin to. 6x cubed plus 7y raised to 4 multiplied by 6x cubed minus 7y raised to 4. And that would be the final answer. Ganun lang. Next, let's have number 2. 81x raised to 4y raised to 12 minus 9. First, check natin yung conditions. Una, 2 terms ba? Yes, first term ito, second term ito. Next, minus ba? Yes, naka-minus to. Third, perfect squares ba ang first term and last term? So, check natin. Numbers muna. Ang 81 is 9 times 9, so perfect square yan. Ang 9 ay 3 times 3, so perfect square din. Yung mga variables natin, ang exponent ba ay even? Yes, 4 saka 12. So, pasok yan sa difference of 2 squares. But before, again, we proceed to our factoring na difference of 2 squares, check mo muna kung factorable yan ng common monomial factoring. 81 saka 9, may GCF? Meron. So, therefore, magka-common monomial factoring muna tayo. Ano ba ang GCF ni 81 sa ni 9? 9. So, ibig sabihin, may GCF na 9 ang numbers natin. Pero ang variable, wala. Kasi, wala namang variable na kasama si 9 dito. So, let's do that. So, ang 9 na GCF ay nasa labas. Ganito yun. Ganito yung factored form nun kapag nag-common monomial factoring tayo. So, 9 nasa labas. Tapos, term by term yon, di ba? So, 81 divided by 9. So, we'll have 9. Tapos, since wala namang variable yung GCF natin, copyhin lang natin ito. X raised to 4y raised to 12. Then, for second term, negative 9 divide mo sa 9. That is, ulit, negative 9 divide mo sa 9 dito. We'll have negative 1. So, eto na ngayon ang result kapag nagka-1 monomial factoring tayo. Ganon. Now, etong nasa loob, factorable pa. Huwag kang titigil hanggang may factorable pa na expression na makita ka sa given. Bakit yung nasabing factorable? Difference of two squares ulit yan. Bakit? 2 terms minus perfect square si 9 kasi 3 times 3. Perfect square si 1 kasi 1 times 1. Then even numbers pa rin naman ang exponent ng variables. So therefore, difference of two squares pa rin. And kapag difference of two squares, mag-step number 1 ka na, kunin natin yung square root ng first term sa loob, saka second term sa loob. So that's 9x raised to 4y raised to 12. So ang 9 is 3 times 3, so square root niyan ay 3 na lang. Ang x raised to 4, i-divide mo lang sa 2 ang exponent, so that's x squared. Tapos, ganun din sa y. Divide mo sa 2 yung 12, that is 6, so y raised to 6. So ganito ngayon ang square root niya. 3x squared y raised to 6. So ang square root ng 1 times 1 lang naman yan, so that is 1. Then, we can now get the final answer. Pero hindi lang yung 3x squared y raised to 6 plus 1, tapos 3x squared minus y raised to 6 minus 1 ang sagot, kasi may 9 na sa labas. So yung 9 dito, kokopyahin na natin. Huwag mo yung kakalimutan sa final answer. So sa magpa-parenthesis, 3x squared y raised to 6 plus 1, and yung subtraction niyan, 3x squared y raised to 6 minus 1. And this will now be the final answer. Alright, so thank you so much for listening. I hope you learned something today. So I want to see you in our next topic about factoring. Bye-bye! Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed and learned something today. And if you did, please don't forget to subscribe and click on notification bell and share this to your friends who needs this lesson the most. And don't also forget that you deserve more. You can learn more. And you can be more. #YouMorePH. Bye-bye. See you in our next video.